your shelf. We're live. Hi, Megan. How are you?
Hi.
Happy May.
Happy May.
Happy May. We're just talking about your shelf in the background. They look like skulls over there. Are they
There's Funkos, and then there's like a little bear looking thing.
I know what you're talking about. I gotta get
That's Cheryl's. So it looks different in here, probably because
it does.
That's what I think we had already done it last month. But now it's not. I'm not as like whited out because I'm in a different location. But I need a better light in here. But yeah, so that's Cheryl's area. That's why when you asked me, I was like, does she have skulls over there?
I know what you're talking about though. Those square kind of head things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Nice. So what's going on? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, except for my cat drama that I've been telling you about.
I know. Poor Moose and her tail.
When you have a pet with issues, it's always hard and you don't know what to do sometimes. And that's where I'm at. I don't know. So my cat has like a cyst on her tail, or it could be a tumor. And they're saying because she's older, maybe amputation is the best way to go. And I'm not sure that I want to do that, but maybe it's just me being afraid. So I've been talking to Victoria about this, like, oh my gosh, her tail's bleeding again. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, enough with the animal drama. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was just kind of lamenting that I have a sweater on in the last few days of May, of all the days. Like, I had this little dress I was gonna wear and it was so cute and it was all like summer. I mean, this is the official start of summer, right? And then I don't know if it got up to 70 degrees here today in Southern California. It's like, what is going on of all the days? It was in the 90s all week, and then today, no. So total rework of the wardrobe plan here this evening, which, you know, for most people, like, who cares? But for me, like, clothing is life. So
yeah. Well, you always look so good.
Well, thank you. But I had this sweater and jeans that I have on just sitting there. So, well, guess we'll do that. So here we are. This is, you know, the big deal. It's like one of the happy things in my life. You know, we always talk about, like, how do you care for yourself, or what do you do, you know, kind of self thing. That is one of my things. It's like it's a not self-love, it's the way I care for myself. I love clothing. That's how I take care of myself. I try to look, you know, good, or when I leave the house, I make an effort about it. It's not, I don't know, I can't wrap my head around leaving the house in pajama bottoms. I know some people do it and they're good about it and it's okay. There are days I want to do it, I really do, and I just can't. I can't do it. So there are days I really wish I could, but I don't know. I have done it if I'm like going to the pharmacy and it's a drive-through pharmacy, or, you know, doing something like that. And I know I'm not going to be getting out of the car. I'll be like, yeah, these are close enough to pants. I'm not getting out of the car. It's fine. But yeah, that would be about it. I couldn't go to an airport in pajamas. That I can. Yeah, but that's me.
Since when I was living in California in Long Beach, I grew up there, went to school there. So I was always like, I'm going to run into somebody I know. But now that we moved to Maryland, I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll just leave the house however. And I hate it because I tell my wife, I'm like, look at the way I leave the house. This is nuts. And yeah, but I still do it.
But you're all put together here and you look great.
Well, like I told you this morning, it gives me a reason to.
Yeah.
Which is nice because, you know, working from home all the time, being home all the time.
Yeah.
I still sometimes will get up and, like, you know, get dressed, put makeup on, and it does make me feel better. And I'll notice sometimes it makes me more productive and sometimes it doesn't really matter.
I agree with that. Yeah. When we were doing, you know, COVID and working from home, I just made sure every day I got up and I got dressed. And I didn't do the whole makeup thing because I just think your skin, like, especially at my age, it needs a break. I still did the skincare, but didn't do the whole makeup, you know, the full face and all that stuff. Didn't do all the jewelry and everything. But I got dressed, I made sure, and I didn't like go full outfit, but I still put clothing on. I didn't sit around in pajamas all day because that could be a trap for me. I love pajamas. I have an extensive amount of pajamas, not as much clothing as I have, but a lot of pajamas, and I love them, and so I could easily get into that as much as I love clothing. I love pajamas, but I made sure I got up and got dressed and went to a different part of the house. I didn't work in my bedroom. Because I just kept hearing people talk that were already doing the work from home, how that was, what it was doing to their life. And I thought, I can't do that. I can't, I didn't want to fall into that trap. So
yeah, definitely. I think especially if you have like mental health issues, it could be a big thing. So
right. Yeah. So I'm already
Ames said, try living in a small town of 2K. You fart loud enough and everyone knows about it.
I know, she and I talk about that all the time with her town. I can't imagine because, those are people that she's grown up with, and then, everyone knows each other. They end up dating one another, marrying one another, but oh, no way. No. Oh, no.
Ames, you got me this dress.
Oh,
my cute polka dot dress.
I love it. I love polka dots.
Me
make
too.
Me happy. It's such a happy thing. I don't know. So what else is going on?
Nothing. Absolutely
you doing
nothing.
Anything for the holiday weekend?
We're having crabs, which I don't really love crabs, but I know it's a huge Maryland thing. They all love them, so everyone's excited.
Yep.
I don't know what I'll be having.
Yeah. So you guys aren't on the water? No, you're not on the
what?
water. On the water?
No.
Yeah. So I grew up in Pennsylvania, and we were always boating. There's Honey.
You see her?
Yeah. She's usually sleeping, I think, when we do these. So we used to sit like on the dock, and we'd get a bushel of crabs because we'd go boating in Maryland, and, sit there and then just throw the shells in the water, and the fish would eat them and stuff. And it was a good time. There's just a lot of neat memories with that. But it's so much effort to pick the crabs. Those
I don't do
Maryland blue crabs. It's so much effort for the amount of meat that's in them. It's not like a king crab or a snow crab or anything.
Yeah.
They're so much smaller, and it's very early in the season. So I'm curious where you're even getting crabs at this time of year.
Oh gosh, I it's like Sister something. No, it's called She's Got Crabs.
Oh, so they're bringing them in. You're not.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember thinking that's such a funny name.
That is funny. And how did you get Sister out of that?
I don't know. I was thinking of some other name that had sister in it. Sister something. Oh my gosh, I'm being so loud drinking water.
That's funny.
Well,
my old cat, Pixel, you know, because you've been around my house.
Yeah.
So he's getting, I don't know if he's getting senile or what. Now he's dumping the water bowl.
Oh no.
Dumping it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it's in, their bowls are in this thing that holds them. Mm-hmm. And that bastard is dumping it. Like he's managing to get it out of the holder. And I'm like, every, I don't know, couple of hours I look and there's just water going across the floor. And I'm like, oh, and first I thought it was Gibby because, Gibby's mischievous and he's got those funny hands and he can like pick stuff up. And so I was like scolding him, you just stop doing that. And it's Pixel.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and I've been yelling at your brother. And that's probably why he's doing it, because he's trying to get him in trouble. So that little bugger.
Abe said he's a little butthead.
He's a serious butthead, that guy. But man, I just don't, what's the point of it? I
Cats are weird.
This guy.
They're very weird.
I don't even know. Hey, I know something. Tuesday, Elijah's.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Got that going on. Yeah.
That's coming up.
That's pretty exciting. And I had the absolute honor of listening to it early. So I'm so excited. They did such an awesome job. It's so good. I'm so happy.
So excited.
so happy because we again have another female narrator, a new one, Laurelin, and she just killed Hannah. I mean, I'm just so happy. I was so happy. I was like, yay, you know, the whole time.
Yeah.
I probably listened to it like 3 or 4 times.
I know you love your audiobooks.
I do, and I'm just so happy. It just over the moon. So yeah, it's good. It's an exciting week. Super
Yeah, it
exciting.
is exciting.
Yeah, and then there is a pre-order up for Elijah's Need for November 22nd. So those are already up and available to get. If you're super excited, you can do that too. So that's fun.
Yeah. And we'll be busy doing lots of giveaways this week and fun stuff.
Yeah.
So pay attention to Victoria's socials.
Yep, lots of busy partying.
Parties, lots of parties. Well, our author is in the waiting room.
Let's go. Let's go.
I will go ahead and introduce her. With millions of books sold worldwide, tonight's mystery guest is a New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and USA Today bestselling author. She's a sucker for a good romance and gets giddy anytime there's kissing, much to the embarrassment of her 3 daughters. Her husband doesn't seem to complain, however. When she isn't reading or writing sexy stories, she's probably singing, watching Killing Eve or Letterkenny, or dreaming of Michael Fassbender. She's also a proud member of Mensa International, though she doesn't do anything with the organization except use it as material for her bio. She is represented by Rebecca Friedman. Please welcome, dun, 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 Laurelin Paige.
Oh, Mensa, are you kidding? I feel very, very inadequate. Oh my God.
Oh, she's coming.
Hello.
There she is. How are you?
I'm listening to you talk and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is maybe not the party to choose to like come to my in my pajamas.
But look how cute they are.
They're at least like a lipstick
Ooh, I love them.
pajamas, but
Yes.
it was really, I live in Texas and it was really hot here today, unlike you.
No, I don't know what happened. It's been hot all week and then nothing today.
And nothing today. Well, we were like, we're going swimming. We went swimming. And after that, I was like, I just want to get in pajamas now.
Yeah.
I'm going to this party in pajamas.
Nice. Nice. Now, you know what, like I was saying, clothing is like my thing. I love clothing. I've got like a clothing problem. It's a problem.
Well, you
Yeah.
look good in clothing. So I appreciate your problem. I like to look at all your pictures.
I love pajamas though too. It's like the secondary problem. I love there's a company called Hannah Anderson. They're actually a kids clothing company, but they sell adult pajamas also. So it's like they do the mommy and me kind of thing, but they're like long johns, you know, all of the styles like long johns. They are the most comfortable pajamas. And I have a lot of them. And then I turn Angel onto them too. And so we're always like, every time we have to buy each other a gift, it's like, you're getting Hannah's, you know. And so
I'll have to
we're always wearing the long johns.
My kid, my oldest daughter came out of the pool and she got it on like an adult size. I mean, she's 19, so it's adult size, like Winnie the Pooh onesie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want one of those.
Yeah. You know where there's a company called Me Undies. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm.
So it's like me, you and me, undies, and they have onesies and they are so comfortable. The cotton, it just keeps washing just wonderfully. You know what I mean? It's like it never pills up or anything. I have a onesie and it has sharks all over it, of course, because sharks are my jam. And yeah, so
I wrote it down.
yeah,
I'm gonna
got
I'm gonna
a lot of fun stuff in that line. So yeah, just ask me. I know where to buy shit.
all right, you're the woman to come to.
Yeah. So what's going on?
Well, I'm here with you and I'm excited. You got a book release coming up.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. So where are you at in Texas? What part of the state? Middle, south, north?
Middle. We're just outside of Austin in the
Mhm.
hills. So it's I love it. It's really pretty. We have some other people like in this area, you know, RK Lily's out here, Julie Julie Kenner's
Yeah,
out here.
yeah.
Um, and it's I just really like it. I'm not from Texas. We've only been here since 2018,
Oh yeah.
but this is like my kind of jam. I
Yeah.
love this area.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you grow up there
Oh no, I grew up in Utah.
in Utah? So not
And
crazy far away, but
not crazy, but then I spent more of my life in Colorado than in Utah. And so I think if you were to ask me where my home is these days, I'd be like, it's Colorado. But I don't miss the snow.
no,
Really
no.
like having a pool.
Yeah.
And I'm not maybe not so fond of the entire state, but Austin I think is its own little thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy just in the Austin neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one of my employees is there in Houston in that area, but I've not been around the state too much. Just yeah, I think that's the only place I've really been is Houston in Texas. No, we were in Dallas one time for RT, but you know how that goes. You don't see much.
You don't see anything.
You
No.
don't see anything outside of the hotel. We went right by that where Kennedy was shot, and then someone said, "Oh, that's right," and I'm like, could you have told me while we were there? I would have looked at it. You know, we were just, but it was pouring that year. Remember, it was pouring and pouring, and we're like running from, you know, the one time we left the building, and but I would have looked. I would.
The same experience, yes. Like the one time we left, it was like drenched. Yeah.
So it was just funny. I've never seen rain like that though. It was crazy.
Oh, I guess because have you been in California your entire life?
No, I grew up in Pennsylvania where, you know, of course it rained, but not like that. And then I was in the military, so I moved around, you know, for 5 years, and then landed here in California at the end of my, you know, enlistment. And then this was it for me. I knew this is where I belonged. This was, you know, this is like you're saying, Texas, this is, you know, where you belong. I knew when I got off the plane the first time in Southern California, I was like, oh, here is where I belong. This is calling to me, this place. Because
you know, I would say I wouldn't say that here like calls to me like that. Like I love that feeling. Like I feel that way every single time I go to California. I love California. I could so easily be if it wasn't cost and the time driving. Like maybe I'll retire in California when I don't have kids that I have to like worry about.
Right.
Smacking around.
Yeah. Yeah. I had come into California for the first time from Alaska, and it was I was in the back of a cargo plane, you know, because that's how they treat you when you're in the military. And they opened that back door, and we saw the palm trees and the sun for the first time, because I was wintering over at the time, and I just went to tears. I thought, oh my God, please don't make me go back. Please don't make me go back. That's all I kept saying was, can we run? Can we just run? You know, and the people I was with, they're like, no, that's AWOL. You can't do that. No. Oh, okay. We have to go back. So I think we stayed, we flew into El Toro, it's here in Southern California, but up in Orange County. And we were there for about 13 days, and then we had to go back. It was in February. So we were, you know, in the middle of the dark time, we had to go back. And it was so difficult to get back on that plane. I'm telling you, it was so hard. Oh, it was hard.
How long before you got to be there permanently?
Till I stayed in California?
Yeah.
From that moment?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Maybe like another 10 months.
Ugh. But you knew though. You knew. That's not too long.
No, maybe it was longer, because I'm trying to, oh my God, this was like 800 years ago. So I'm trying to remember how
800, pretend you're, like you're a day over 29.
Times 2. I was like, because that was February, and I think I left there the following March, maybe. So Yeah, it was that long. Yeah, because I wintered twice. It was brutal. It was just brutal, but
Oh
you know,
no, I
it
cannot.
makes you who you are.
No, no, I don't want to do cold that.
Well, I was young, so I would never do that now, but I was young and you're so much like, more flexible then. You just do
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. So you have 3 daughters?
I have 3 daughters,
Oh,
and
God.
do you have kids?
I do. I have 2. I have a 25-year-old daughter and a 21-year-old son.
Oh wow. I have a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 12-year-old. And so they're all teens,
Yeah.
basically. And the 12-year-olds are gonna be 13 next month. So our house is like just a full of emotions.
Oh, yeah.
And my mother lives with us. So
Oh,
my poor husband is the only man in this entire this compound of women.
he's probably very quiet. He's just very quiet.
Oh, he's not necessarily as quiet as probably all the girls think he should be. Well, they just
Oh,
like it's like he's got 5 mothers. They're all
oh my God.
trying to tell him what to do.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Lots of nagging.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, how crazy. Wow. I can't imagine. I can't imagine that much estrogen in one place.
It is I don't know. I have to escape a lot. I'm
Yeah.
really glad that I have my job. And when we bought the house here, I was like, we have to have a big house because I work at home and I don't want to see anybody in the day.
Right. I don't want to see any of you.
I want to pretend like I'm by myself. And so
Right.
it works out really well. And then I like them at nighttime and we can
Exactly.
spend time together then.
Yeah. So your 19-year-old is graduated from high school and working off to school. What's going on?
She actually does some work for me, but she's got a chronic illness. She has POTS, if you've ever heard of it.
I have heard of that.
Yeah, and a lot of people are hearing it, unfortunately, because it's one of the things that happens with long COVID, but she's had it for years and years. And she's several other things that go with it. She's also got mast cell activation syndrome, and she has small fiber neuropathy. So she's going to school online, but it's tough. It's tough for someone with that sort of things. She can't drive. She can't live on her own.
Right.
So right now getting through one class is pretty much all that she can do at the time.
Yeah, like living is first and then that other stuff, right?
Exactly.
I got you. My 25-year-old daughter is severely disabled. So it's like a whole other thing.
But you understand. Does she live with you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Completely dependent. She doesn't walk or talk or eat food in her mouth or, yeah.
Oh, so that is
It's a whole other thing. Yeah.
That is a whole other thing. But you do understand what it is like though, than to have this. And I have a feeling that, she'll be with us for a long time because I don't know that she could ever, I don't know that her health will get to the point where she could ever be by herself.
Right.
But, maybe there's new studies and stuff all the time, but she does work for me. She's the thing is she's brilliant. She's highest test scores that her math teacher had seen in years. And just a serious genius. So she wants to do something like aeronautics or bioengineering or neuroscience, and hopefully one day we'll get there.
I had to fix my screen. It was doing crazy things. So sorry. That's why I wasn't ignoring you. I just had to do something different because all of a sudden I'm like, what is happening? So sorry about that. This is much better. Now I can see you clearly. You were like this little square all of a sudden. What just happened? What just happened? But better, much better.
Oh, yay.
There you are.
So that takes up a lot of, I think she probably takes up a lot of the energy in the household, and so you understand that, having somebody though that, and my youngest is autistic. And the middle one has a sensory processing disorder, but she's really good. She just self-regulates and hides in her room all the time, and that works out fine.
Right. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, they're having kids, it's a whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
man.
What about your son? Where's your son at?
My son, so my husband and I own a manufacturing business. And so I do that all day, do accounting, and then I write at night. And my son works with us also. So, yeah, so he's 21 and he is amazing. He's amazing from A to Z, this guy. So it's just funny. I have, my daughter and then my son. They are like, it's just the opposite ends of the spectrum, but it's really neat because I had the opportunity to experience, both parts of life. So
Yeah.
it's awesome. And then his girlfriend lives with us and she's been with us for the past 2 years. And so now they're talking about moving out, and Megan has had to listen to me cry a couple of times this week alone because it's hard because it would have been very hard when it was just him, but then we've had her for the past 2 years too, and now they're both gonna leave me, and I'm like, I can't, and so they went to look at a place last week, and I was trying to be super positive, and and they came back and they hated it and was awful, and it
You're
had
like,
roaches.
yes.
And I was like, yes, exactly. I was like, that's really too bad. Yes,
Mhm.
doing the happy dance, but are you gonna look again? Maybe you have to increase your budget. You can't afford it. I don't know. It's hard in Southern California. It's really hard for the young ones to, move out. And so I keep saying, you should just save, just keep saving. They're living in my house for nothing. I don't make them pay anything. So why would you want to move out? What's the problem? Oh, you don't want to live with mom forever? What is wrong with you?
I think
cool.
that's silly because I feel like that's going to be the way that things are more and more. Like I hear about people buying houses with their friends now because it's just so expensive to buy places. So they're like teaming up. I mean, just live with me. Just live with me.
I would not I'd put my foot down on that one.
Yeah, because
like if my kid was saying he was going to buy a house with somebody that wasn't his partner, no.
Right, weird, right? Right.
Yeah, no, because like we already had a conversation, all the life conversations, the one like, it's not going to be the dirty socks that your buddy's leaving on the floor that's going to wreck your friendship. It's him not making rent.
Yes.
And now a mortgage?
Right. Can you imagine? That's like being, you're in a throuple now. That's what it is. You're in a throuple if you're buying a house with somebody.
I don't know. What do you think about that, Megan?
I don't know. It's too big of a commitment to have with someone that you don't want to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, that you're not like literally already
plan on being friends, but you never know what's going to happen. But my wife and I live with her dad. I think it's very common now that, people are living with parents, and it's hard out there to be on your own. And even with that, I wouldn't buy a house with a friend.
No, I mean, no. Because how many times, like, again, when I was young, back in the Stone Ages, how many times did it go wrong, on a lease, just on a lease? And you're like, we got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So no way. No, you can't. Mortgages, you don't just get out of them like that.
No, because what do you do then? Like, I guess we're going to sell this house together. I don't know. It seems like here's a plot we can put in a book.
Wow. See, this is why you're in Mensa. That is a good plot idea. Oh man. So what are you working on right now, writing wise?
I am working on, I just started recently writing Kincaid, which is a follow-up on a duet, the Dirty Filthy Rich Men. and Dirty Filthy Rich Love duet
Ooh,
that I had. And you know what? I'm gonna later on. I'm gonna give these away. Which is what I
nice.
hear. Which is I wrote this came out I think in 2016, and he's one of my most beloved heroes. Maybe it was 2017.
I love that cover. This always appeals to me. The guy sitting there, you can't see his face. He's just sitting there. He looks so powerful. I don't know. I don't know.
loved it. It's stock photo too.
Yeah, I love it. It never stops appealing to me, that look.
Same here, same. And then I like, put the girl on the second one, and it's all. So they're a duet, and everybody loved him. And then I wrote the rest of this universe, and this character, Donovan Kincaid, is like a puppet master. He's involved in all of his friends' lives, and so all of the other books that came after it, had his fingers in it. And when I got done with the whole universe, people were still like, more Donovan. And I also kind of felt like, man, he was the first books. I feel like I need to go back. There's been so much that has happened now that he's been involved in. There's got to be a cap, an end cap. So yeah, I was like, oh, I see the story. I can see what it is. And that's what I'm working on right now, which will come out in November, because I'm really slow these days, because I've split my business in half. But you're doing two businesses, so you understand doing two things. But my second business is it's basically, do you know anything about like Alloy or Glasstown companies? They're like companies that come together and they come up with plot ideas and story ideas, and then they audition the writer for the story.
No.
And then they kind of get that author to New York that way, to traditional publishing, and then it's the author's name on the book,
right?
But they helped basically produce it,
right?
They take
some people are just so brilliant at idea, like they're like idea mills. I have a friend like that. She just can turn them out, the ideas, but she doesn't want to write it. She's not a writer,
right?
But man, she's an idea mill, and it's like,
yeah,
where are you coming up with this stuff?
Yeah. And I have a team of people that are like that. Yeah. So the team of us, what we do, we've had like 8 authors now, I think, on contract, and it's mostly like, it's not things we'd self-publish. It's YA, it's some middle grade, there's some adult fiction that's not romance. And we find these authors, we kind of help mentor them through the process, and then we go and sell them. We're still only like a year old. So we're just now starting the selling process and hoping that it's going to work out. But we have so many great talent involved with it. And that's what my daughter does for me. She works on that team too.
Right.
So
what a great idea.
I think it's going to be really successful, but it takes up a lot of my time. So now I'm only like writing 2 days a week.
Right. It sounds like there would be a lot of just basically saying, like, communicating, a lot of back and forthing, you're a lot of groundwork, you're networking, lots of networking.
If I'd known there was that much networking, I might have said, I'm not going to do this, but I love the rest of it. I'm not maybe not the best at the networking relationship part, but my other team members are, thank goodness.
Once you get all of that groundwork laid, it'll be so easy. It'll be easier, because you'll have those channels to just go right back to. The conduits all be there, I'm thinking.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. And some of these writers are just incredible talent that we're glad to have found. And there are a lot of diversity. It's a lot of diversity that we're able to put in. And that's kind of what the idea was too, is we wanted to be able to help mentor people because, publishing is saying, everybody's saying, like, we want more people of color, we want more diversity in our books, but publishing is saying, well, we can't find those people. So we like, if that's really going to be their excuse, then we are going to help people find those people.
Right.
A lot of people they can't take time off to write the book, is a lot of times what it is. And a lot of times that's going to be the thing in more, even if you're in demographics that's oppressed, it's going to be even harder to be able to find the means to take your time to write a book. So we offer advances, and we have this much faith in you. We have this much faith in the idea that you audition
Right.
We're giving you money, and
Right.
that'll get you along to the process until we sell it, hopefully.
Right. And people don't know where to start. They don't even know where to start. I mean, as an author, how many times has someone come up to you and said, where do I go with this? What do I do? Like I have a manuscript, but what do I do with it now? You know, or I need a editor, or do I have to edit my book?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Or you know what I mean? There's so many questions and people don't even know what to do. And sometimes it's even hard to know where to start to advise people, I think, for me, because, you know, I've been so lucky with Angel having taken me under her wing from the very start. It was like, that is the biggest gift ever for her to, you know, I was just never even touched anything in my life. And she's like, it's okay, I'll show you how. And I'm like, what would I have done? I would have never written anything in my life if that wasn't, you know, the case. So, but not everyone gets to, you know, go that route. So
Yeah, I feel like I was really fortunate too to have people that were very helpful, that like it really explained how to do self-publishing, because it was 2013, it was still new, and I had other people who were like, this is what you do, walked me through everything. So yeah, that's hopefully what we're trying to be able to do for these other people. And you know what I do when people come and ask me those questions, I always send them to Melanie Harlow. She has a writers group, and I send them, go get on her writers group. She will teach you everything so that I don't.
Right. That's a good idea. I'll have to remember that, because a lot of times I'm like, well, you know, or having the time to, you know, sit down with someone and try to mentor it. It's hard. That for me is a problem my whole life. Time, you know, having time to do anything. I can barely have time to get my own commitments, you know, squared away. So.
Oh yeah.
I love this idea. I love it. And helping other people and continuing, you know, like the future of authorship. That's so great.
Yeah. Yeah, we're excited about it. So, you know, hopefully we can keep it up, and we won't like have to say in a year, sorry, that idea, we're done with that.
It's rare-ish that you find a job that at the end of the day you feel so good about what you just did.
Yeah.
And that's got to feel pretty good what you're doing.
It definitely does. And it's, you know how writing can be very lonely.
Yes.
This takes out the loneliness of it, because there's something else I do the other days of the week. It's only a couple days of the week that are lonely.
Yeah. How great. What a great thing. So how are you going to market with this thing? Are you advertising online? Are you going to advertise at book signings? Are you just word of mouth?
For authors right now, a lot of it has been that's been a lot of word of mouth and connections with the people that we work with. It's like, you know, talking about it in old author groups that these people were in, or writers groups, or, you know, we have an agent, so our agent has brought in some of her talent. She's scoped people out. We have put a few ads out in some writers groups, but I think the biggest, we've talked to some agents, we've had lots of phone calls with agents about it. But I think the thing that's really going to be the big snowballer is when we finally get some sales under our belt. And then I think people will start knowing our name and wanting to come audition for us. But you know, if you hear people that are like, I really need help crafting stories or ideas, then we're the kind of place that really helps them. You know, because there's a lot of people who are really great writers, but they don't necessarily have the right idea, or they don't have an idea that will be sellable, or they don't really know how to structure it the best way. There's a lot of parts that come into being, like writing a book. Like you can be a really talented author and not have all of the skills.
Right. Or how to get the story marketable. You know, like I was talking to someone the other day about, you know, the part of a story, and I'm like, I know I did that on purpose, because that's how you get it. You know what I mean? It's like, there's so much more to writing than just sitting down and writing. You have to like actually think about it, and it's a plan, and the whole thing is, it's a whole plan. You have to move the story along, and every part of the story is planned ahead, that you're getting it from here to there, those intentional scenes, and they're not just gratuitous, and everything isn't just slopped together. And I mean, it shouldn't be, in theory, right? It shouldn't be.
Well, and particularly if you're trying to sell it to a publisher, because we can take some of those. We don't have to follow all those rules when we're doing indie publishing, which is nice. We've kind of expanded and changed what literature looks like in the indie world because of how we tell stories sometimes differently than New York likes them. Like, New York would never buy a 130,000 word romance to put in there. No, that'd be like, no way. But but we're eating them up right now on Kindle Unlimited. We like our big fat romance books. So it's when you want that avenue, if that's the way you want to go, there's rules, there's gatekeepers.
I was just talking to someone the other day, so this is just like a fun question. How do you feel about all romances having happily ever afters?
I feel that is the definition of romance. I feel that love stories, you can have a love story and it doesn't have to have a happily ever after, but that's not a romance.
Right.
Like you could say Titanic. Titanic is a love story, right? But that's not a romance.
Right.
Romeo and Juliet is a love story, not a romance. Right.
I hear you. That's a good way to put it. Because we were talking and they said, I don't think it's realistic that everyone has a happy ending, because that's not life. Not every story ends happily.
No, and that's true, but
there's a lot of heartache in life.
Yeah, you are, but you're promising something to someone, like when they want to read a thriller or they want to read a horror, they know there's going to be scary things in it. Right. They know that the end of that book is going to leave them unsettled. And that's what they want. That's the commitment that they made with the author, this unspoken commitment by you saying it was a thriller and me purchasing it. So if you're going to say, like, there's some people who they want to read a book that's going to be tied up at the end, then you have to honor that commitment of telling them that that's what it's going to be. And if you want to write love stories that don't have happy endings, call them love stories.
Right.
And don't market them as romances.
Right. I like that. The difference between a love story and a romance. It's a good way to differentiate, I just hadn't thought about it that way, just between the two words or the two ideas. Yeah. So yeah, fair enough. What do you think, Megan? Should they all be happily ever afters?
Oh my gosh, my mind was blown listening to you, Laurelin, talk about it. I'm like, oh, that's true. I don't know. I mean, because like you said, when someone said that's not how life is, but I think that's why people like romance books, because
to escape,
you don't want to have how life normally, always is. So
exactly.
I think that's true. Yeah, I like that. A love story versus a romance. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good way to look at it. I hadn't thought about it that way before. So yeah. Fair enough.
Do you write all happily ever afters?
I do, because that's what my publisher wants them to be. So that's what they are, but there's, I usually tear it up on the way, because that's how life goes. So I
like the angst too. I like the angst.
I get accused of a lot of throwing books across the room kind of things,
I get that. I get the same thing.
That's how it is.
I see you.
So
I'm reaching over here because you know what? My husband brought me French fries while we were talking.
How nice.
I know. I'm just going to have to, because they're going to be cold. I have to eat them.
Yeah. Cold grease is never good. Never good. I have no idea. Usually we go into the first half hour. Oh, Megan, we're deep into it.
I know. We have some questions. I've been writing them down. Okay, so I'll go through them a little quicker than normal, but this is where we always start pretty much. If they haven't read you before, where should they start?
Well, Fixed on You is the one that most people is people's most favorite. They love Fixed on You. It's billionaire romance. If you love things like Sylvia Day, and I see a lot of people are mentioning them here too, that they found me with Fixed on You. So if you like Sylvia Day, if you like 50 Shades of Grey, that's the one to start with. If you are a Kindle Unlimited though reader and you're totally Kindle Unlimited right now, I have the Slay series and it's dark romance. And so you could start with that in Kindle Unlimited because I know that money's tight for a lot of people and you can find out whether you like an author, and it's 4 books. So it's like a big 4 fat books series that you can find there. And I have it all in one. It's all like the complete Slay. So you could read that. Or if you want to read the Dirty Filthy Rich Man is what I'm really pimping this year since I'm writing the last book in that. And that's a beginning. It's this is probably edgy romance is what I would call it, because it's a billionaire romance, but it's got some dubious consent rape play. Actually though, what I feel like the story, I get like, a lot of people like, why are you writing that such filthy whatever, you're a bad feminist, bad woman. Actually, this whole story for me is about the difference between kinky sex we choose and sex that we don't choose. It's really about the difference between consent and not consent. The main character is assaulted early in the book, and but then afterwards always has this fantasy of rape play, and it's the difference of being able to have her choice. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's like really important for a lot of people that they don't really understand. So that I feel it's very empowering for women. So I feel like these are like my feminist books actually, because it's about I choose this kind of thing, and that's a lot different from when you choose it for me.
Right. A lot of people that have been assaulted turn to BDSM because of the power dynamic. Exactly.
Yeah. Now you have the hands on the rein. You want to relive, you want to redo what happened to you.
Absolutely. That's awesome. You answered Kendra's question as well, because Kendra wanted to know if any of your books were on Kindle Unlimited. So you got 2 of the questions there. Okay. Carrie Ann said that she's fangirling so hard. So I wanted to make sure we get her question in. For both of you, who are your favorite characters?
Oh, Donovan. Donovan's my favorite. That's this guy. Donovan and Sabrina. They're probably some of the hardest characters, but I don't know. I think I just really relate to Donovan. Usually, when I write these male characters and people are like, who inspired them? I actually feel like I'm the man in a lot of the stories.
It's so much easier for me to write the male characters a lot of times than it is the females. And I don't know. I wonder, why is that? Do I feel more? I mean, I know my personality is more dominant than it is, but
mine too.
Yeah. So I don't know why. I don't know why it's so much easier for me to write a male character than it is a female. I don't know.
I think it's really easy for me to examine like my male attributes, things that we would have considered male attributes like in our generation, which now we're trying to get a little bit more, everybody can be everything, but I grew up when I grew up, and so these are things that I'm still going to be grappling with probably for the rest of my life. And being able to write these split characters that really belong to each other, I think is really a way of me marrying my feminine and male sides together, and in a place that's safe, since women are, I felt like my bossiness and my assertiveness and all those kinds of characteristics were always kind of looked down on, especially in Mormon Utah. And so, I think this is a lot of therapy for me is what it is.
Right.
Okay, this one's for both of you also, from Stephanie. What is a book that you have read over and over? I'm sure there are tons, but choose
everyone
one.
knows. What's my answer? Everyone knows what it is. It's Priest. Priest,
some...
Sinner. And, it's mostly Sinner. That's the one of that trio. Now it's 4, but Sinner is my favorite of that one. But yeah, Sinner.
Oh, Sierra Simone fan.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Really?
She's brilliant. I was her critique partner for the first few books of that series. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
I have read Beautiful Bastard by Christina Lauren a lot of times.
Yeah.
I just love that. It's like
It's
one
such
that-
a great book.
Mhm.
It's such a great book. And I have a signed copy of that they signed to me. And then it was the RT in Vegas, and they had this big giant circle ad on the floor.
I remember that.
And I laid on it with my book, and they walked by. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die, because now I'm just an idiot, and this is like how many books that I've written at this point, but I'm still just a fangirl at heart,
Yep.
We're all just, there's still always going to be authors you're fangirling over, but they're so lovely. They're lovely women.
Yeah, I love them. They're both amazing.
Yeah.
amazing people.
Okay, Karen wants to know for both of you, what is your favorite book that you have written? Do you have one, or do you love them all like children? You love them all
No,
equally in a different way?
No,
I
no.
don't love them all equally. I mean, I do. This is one of them. Dirty Filthy Rich Men is one of them. I also really love Ruin, which is the second book in the Slay series, and I really love First Touch, which is the book that I did with St. Martin's Press. So it was traditionally published. And that one I just felt like was a really hard story for me. It was really more hardcore BDSM, and it was romantic suspense. And I think I was a little bit outside of my normal ways of thinking when I wrote it. And I liked that. I liked that it was different.
Like a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I to say.
I have a couple because of, different reasons. So it's No Broken Bond and Grant's Heat, because that was right when I was diagnosed with cancer. And I don't know. I love all of Elijah's books so much, but I'm just going to say those two for right now. No Broken Bond and Grant's Heat.
Yeah, it is hard. You have to, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, and it's mostly because of what was going on in my life while I was writing them. I love the stories. Oh, well, hello. I love Mac. I love Mac's books too. So I No Longer Lost, that one for sure. So, I mean, I could say every book for a different reason, but yeah. And that's just because he bites. So I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, Sharon wants to know, for both of you, do you listen to music, or do you need quiet when you're writing?
I used to listen to a lot of music. Now that I'm really trying to be focused on only 2 days a week, I tend to listen to more like Brain FM to get me not distracted. But then after I kind of get into the zone, I'll go back to like my playlist or something. I do like to have the mood. I have playlists for everything.
Yeah.
Right.
I have, like, if I have a particular scene, like deep emotion, I'll have a song that I just bomb myself with it over and over and over and over. Like, I can't stop. It's got to be the same song. Like, I just can't stop with it. But that's the only time I do that. It's the only time I listen to music. And then otherwise, I have to be listening for my daughter. You know what I mean? I have to be aware of what's going on in my house, so I don't put headphones on or whatever otherwise. So, but if I need that deep emotion connection, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that's usually like once a book when I'm going right, either for that black moment or like the recovery of it. I'm just like, it's like torture. I'm just beating myself with it.
I sometimes do it for the sexy times too. When I'm like, I want it to be a certain feel, like, you want it to be a little bit.
Yeah.
Whether you want it to be romantic or this time you just want it to be really dirty.
Yeah.
Then sometimes I gotta like put on some Banks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I remember you posting, I don't remember how I found this, but you said that song Halo by The Cure
Mhm.
reminds you of Grant and Rio. Was that something you listened to while writing, or was it like afterwards and you've heard it and you said,
No, while I was writing.
oh, that's so beautiful. I love that song.
Yeah,
Now I think of them every time I hear
that
it.
song just destroyed me, and then I couldn't stop with it, and I needed that at the end of their wrap up, and oh my God, that song. Do you listen to The Cure ever?
Yeah, I love the
So
Cure.
that song Halo,
Yeah.
oh my God. And this couple had been through hell. I mean, they'd been through hell, and she's a pyromaniac, and so all this stuff, and it was like, oh my God, it was just like perfection. So good.
Yeah.
I mean, that man can write songs,
Oh,
and then you hear like so many of his songs he wrote for his wife, and it just makes it so much more perfect, and so good. So good.
Oh my goodness, it's almost 7, but I like this question. It's a unique question we haven't had before. Karen wants to know, would you ever consider narrating your own books for both of you?
Never.
Never? Why not?
Yeah,
I am terrible at reading orally. Terrible. I get all tongue-tied and stumble, and then I get like self-conscious, and it gets worse, and no. Like I can talk to the corner of the room for 8 hours. You know what I mean? I could talk to this balloon shark forever, but I cannot read out loud. I get all worked up. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Oh, that's funny. I wouldn't imagine that about you at all, because you're so assertive. I mean, you're so
Like I can talk
together.
free form, but the reading, I get all wound up. I can't do it.
Oh, I feel better if it's written down. I'm not as good. I'm like awkward like this, but I would do it. It was a theater major. And so I always think about like, oh, I want to do that. And then I start to explore it for a little bit in my head. And then I realize how much work it's going to be. And that's when I go, oh yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, leave it to the people that are they're so good at it. My God. Yeah, I'm an audio junkie. That's how I consume books, all audio. And so they're so good at it.
They are. And it's harder. I was going to do like a guest like line or two in a Lauren Blakely book, because Lauren Blakely is one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And I like tried to do it, and I was like, no, this isn't working.
Yeah.
This isn't working. I quit.
Yeah. And she has like the full cast. She doesn't do just like, dual. She does like full cast. So
Yep.
yeah. And all the really top of the line talent. So you'd be like, forget it. No.
Exactly.
No. Yeah. So wow. All right. So we're gonna do our giveaways.
Yes, I wanted to say really quick though, we didn't get to everyone's questions, but every time someone asks a question, they are entered to the giveaway. So everyone has a chance, even when we don't get to your question. But I try to ask the ones that we haven't had, like that are not repeats and stuff. Right. So we have Amy helping monitor like who's asking. So thank you, Amy.
And we try to go
giveaway
back.
Time.
Huh? We try to go back in and answer the questions, type the answers in. I know what, all of a sudden my hair is like acting like an ass.
Yeah, I'll do
everyone's favorite part.
I'll wait till tomorrow, so that people can have time to watch and whatever, and then I'll stop in and answer some questions too.
Perfect.
Giveaway is everyone's favorite part anyways, right? No. Who doesn't love a free book?
Right. I'm so dry today.
I have actually 2 giveaways. I was going to do one of these by themselves, like a duet with both of these, and then I also have them both in a hardcover.
Look how pretty that is.
Together, a pretty version.
Wow, is that pretty?
Hardcover. So 2 giveaways from me.
How nice. Okay. Well, I have the new one that's coming out. And this is audio if you want it. I've got audio. I have paperback. Actually, well, I like just letting someone pick. They can have whatever they want because I have everything still. So whatever you want, I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. And all the young people are like, what?
I know.
What? So yeah, I'm good. And if I owe people things still. I am so sorry. I'm doing my best. I'm telling you, I'm doing my best. I think there's like 1 or 2 people on the list still that maybe I didn't get to. I ran out of boxes and then I was like, oh my God, I was so close. I was so close to catching up, and then the boxes. So,
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because I even remember my husband was telling me that I needed to order more packing
yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
I'm
I
the
was
same
so
way.
close. So close. So go. Who's the winners?
I'm
Who are
looking
the
at comments. Okay. For Laurelin, it's Stephanie. For Victoria, it's Jennifer. So
All
Amy and I
right.
will reach out to both of you, get your information, and then we'll send it over so you have it. So
Congratulations, winners.
winners.
Yay.
All right, thank you. This
Thank
is
you
fun.
for coming. I am so glad that you stopped by and we got to chat.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up? Are you going to do some signings?
I'm gonna do Book Bonanza. Are you gonna be there?
No, I cannot get a spot at that damn thing.
Ugh,
I know. It's like apartment
Oh.
in Manhattan. Someone has to kick it before you can get in.
That
So
really is what it is, because they give everybody who was there before like first pick, and
Yep.
everybody loves it so much that they
Yep.
won't ever give up their spot. Everybody I know is like, oh yeah, I'm never not going because
Yeah,
I don't want to lose
exactly.
my spot.
So I mean, maybe one day, but yeah, I cannot get in there. So
So I have that, and then I have Readers on the River with 1001 Dark Nights. What about you?
Mhm.
What are you doing?
I have in October the Love in Vegas,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then literally come home on Monday and leave on Wednesday for Shameless.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Last
brutal, but it was a good time.
I think it's
What'd you say?
the last Shameless, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So can't miss that one. But I mean, I was gonna go to it anyway. It was supposed to be the last Love in Vegas or the last Love in event, but now she said she's gonna keep doing them. So
Well, good.
yeah. So that's it for right now, because I had before COVID had just had cancer. So I canceled so many things. I had like 8 events scheduled that year, canceled everything, then COVID hit, and then everything was canceled anyway. So those 2 things are kind of holdovers from that,
Yeah, this whole year for me has been
Yeah.
stuff that's been held over from like that got canceled.
Yeah. So when we come around to 2023, it's like everyone will have a chance to start picking again, like
Yes.
what's coming up, where am I going, kind of thing. Because I really wanted to get up to Canada, and
Oh,
you
I
know
did
that
too. Yeah.
that the Niagara Falls one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to do that still. I really want to do that, so that's still in the back of my mind.
Lots of good
What
signs.
happens? Yeah,
Yeah. And I'd like to get out overseas next year. So we'll see.
right. So there you have it. Well, take care of yourself. Enjoy your Memorial Day, and again, thank you for coming by.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you next month.
Yeah, be good
Have
to
a good
each other,
evening.
people. Bye.
Bye.